Baby, what milk?
You're gonna hear that all the time, Noel.
All right.
Liz is gonna fucking kill us.
Restaurant Punk, what's up?
Restaurant Punk! What's
What's
Punk
up?
in the cold? What's up?
We're here.
We're here.
We're here.
frozen.
Get used to it.
Yeah. Used to what?
I won't get used to it ever.
No. No, because it's cold. It sucks. I hate
And
the
yet
cold.
George never wears a jacket.
I have a jacket. It's in the car.
I don't believe him ever.
I do. I have a sleeve on. I'm good.
You got,
That is
one
true.
sleeve on, you're good.
Stop.
My nipple-
No,
my lips are a
no,
little-
George.
lips a little frosty.
No, George.
Smuggling some Tic
Little
Tacs.
prickly.
Yeah, you guys want some Tic Tacs? Pew, 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 pew. All right, guys, let's be serious.
Precious breath.
All right, you know it.
Baby, what milk?
You're gonna hear that all the time, Noel.
All right.
Liz is gonna fucking kill us.
Okay.
The one day that she's not here that we film.
Oh God, it's gonna be
all
so
right,
much
pull
fun.
it together.
All right, focus.
Yep.
We have to be professional
Yes,
here.
we are so
Very
Speak-
professional.
Speaking of professionals, how do we know?
How do we know?
How do we know when I guess like an employee is ready to move up, right? Like whether it be a manager, we
Like,
don't
take
do
the next-
managers, but that's the thing. So I don't want to say like
So-
moving up to a manager because we don't have managers.
But like, take the next step to.
Yeah. So I'm kind of dealing with the situation right now where there's somebody that I want to be able to like move forward a little bit. I know that they have the potential, and it's really like frustrating right now to see that they're not
I like the way
stepping
you say
up
frustrating.
to be able to like fulfill that space, because it's like I have it available for them. I want them to achieve more. I want them to do better. I know that they can do it because I've seen them, and I've seen
You've seen
like
them
these
in the past.
glimpses where it's like they're just functioning on like the highest level that they could possibly be, and they're just continually to like fail to live up to that expectation sometimes still. Like they're just not 100% there yet.
Is it the age?
So I think a lot of it comes down to like age.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
is there a certain age where they
But
think?
then it's also like age and opportunity, because like if the responsibility isn't yours, then like
But-
it kind of is one of those things to where it's just, I don't know. Like I feel like when the opportunity is at hand,
Yeah.
you're not going to fall short. I mean,
mean-
everybody falls short, right? Nobody's fucking perfect. But I feel like once you have the opportunity at that point, you can be like, okay, you know, I can't, typically this is something I would blow off, but I'm not going to blow off now, you know, because it's my responsibility. Whereas the immaturity and the age and the lack of opportunity, like technically this isn't my problem. So like,
I think it's really hard too, especially like the maturity level, because I also have somebody who's, you know, younger than the other person that I'm talking about. And I'm watching them and they continually like are like excelling. And like, I don't really have any issues with them or like their performance, and they're younger, but they have a higher maturity level. And I've even talked to them about this, and I'm like,
Yeah.
your maturity level,
is it a female or a male?
it's a male actually. And I was like, your maturity level
love
is so
to see
much
it.
more than I
Really?
like really anticipated it being. Like, you know, you're here, you're on time, just the way that you function, the way that you hold yourself in the space. Like, yeah, you're still young and you're not like 100% there yet.
Yeah.
But just like watching you and being like, I'm surprised, you know, because I never expected him to be
now,
like
did
that.
you like guide them into this way?
Well,
way,
I
you
mean,
know what I'm saying?
I've tried my best to guide people, you know, in like the best way that I can, but I leave people, you know, to do a lot of it like on their own.
On their own, to
You know,
say,
like,
Yeah.
I want to
learn
see
that.
like exactly like what you're going to do. Like I'll tell you like my expectations, and like the people that have worked with me for like a long period of time, like know what my expectations are, know how I like things to be. So like if you can just do it now at this point, and I can see that you're doing it, or that you're actually stepping above like your level of responsibility, and I can see that, and I can see it happening. It doesn't go unnoticed.
Yeah.
Like, I see like when they go above and beyond. I see when they bullshit and they, you know, fuck off.
Fart around
Like
here.
I can see all of it. Like I let them go. I don't necessarily always, you know,
Whip 'em.
like I don't always encounter them when they're like, let's say like they're jerking off, right?
Right.
Oh.
Right.
You know what I mean?
As
I
most
don't
do in the
always-
restaurant industry.
I don't go out of my way in that moment to acknowledge that with them. Like I
Right.
give people like the time
do the
to
same
like
thing
do
with my
what it is that they're
toddler.
doing, you know? And I'm like, all right, you guys are fucking around right now.
Wait,
I
Pete?
see it. I know how you're being, or like, okay, you were late. I'm seeing it. I'm logging it. I know
Yeah.
what you're doing. And then, you know, I'll have a conversation later on and I'll be like, hey, you know, especially like when the time comes and you're like, hey, can I, you know, get a little more money? And I'm like, you know, I'd
No.
love to pay you more, but you gotta show the fuck up. to work.
Unfortunately,
Yeah, yeah.
you haven't stopped
You know what I
jerking
mean?
off.
So I mean, you do a good job like 50% of the time, but the other 50,
Yeah.
what the
And
fuck
stay
are you doing?
consistent with that. That's so I always
You
see.
know?
Consistency is the number thing when I see when these
Yeah.
young kids or middle-aged 20-year-old people that want the responsibility, but they still want to be friends with everybody.
Yeah.
That's always like, I always say you can't be friends with somebody.
I still want to be friends with everybody, and that's still the hardest lesson being in the positions
It's
that
so
I'm in.
hard because like you want to hang out and talk and chill, but then you want to say when it's time to come, you're like, hey, do this. Like, well,
Well, it's
nah.
like I
Yeah.
just had this conversation with somebody. I'm like, look, when you end up taking over like a business, or if you start your own business, like, and especially if you're younger, you're going to be working with people that are close to your age. You might even be working with people like a little above your age. And I'm
Yeah.
like, but you have to realize now at this point that you are no longer like their friend in that friendship level. I'm not saying you can't be friendly with them. And I was like, but you can't go out to hang out with them. This isn't go out to drink with them. This isn't like going and partying and bullshitting with your employees. Like you can't do that because you need to set that precedent with them.
1,000%. I
know?
think obviously Peter has so much more experience when it comes to the restaurant industry and, obviously being partners in almost everything that we do when it comes to being in the restaurant industry. His number one thing was I learned in the beginning when he opened YB, I can't go out. Like I would want to go out with them at the end of the shift, or I would want to do this, or we could all hang out and have a drink and play games at the restaurant, but then people start to fuck off, right?
Take
like,
advantage, yeah.
well, I'm late because I'm hungover because we were all out together. Like, didn't we have a good time? Like, cut me some slack. So for me, I feel like I've never crossed that threshold. Like, I don't go out and drink with any employees or hang out with any employees. We don't go out to dinner. I think the only exception was ever Lena, but that's because we were friends before we ever went
that doesn't
into
count, yeah.
like it doesn't count.
yeah.
But even in certain circumstances, like for me, I think the friendship part that's hard is believe it or not, I can be very empathetic. And I think on a friend scale, like I want to make sure that everybody's comfortable and everybody's happy and like, oh, shit, like you have your sister's XYZ and you're just now telling me now, even though you had 2 weeks to tell me, but that's not something I want you to miss.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
I have those internal battles, even though as an employer, I'm like, okay, well, bitch, you had weeks to tell me that you
Yeah.
had this. Like,
But,
why are
yeah.
you telling me now? And you know that I'm a nice person, that I'm empathetic and that I'll pick up the shift or,
Yeah.
I think that that's where I still struggle in like the friendship department because I have too many feelings.
Right. I mean, like that's why it's hard too for like some younger, some of
why
these younger
it's-
people
exactly, yeah.
to step up and move ahead because like you can try now, and it's hard. Like let's say you're trying to do more managerial things, right? So now you're with the people that you were just like fucking around with.
Yes.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And it's still the same people, and now you're trying to tell them like, hey, like I need the dishes done this way, like right now, like let's go.
Yeah.
And they're like, the fuck out of here! Like, what do you like? Yeah,
No,
like, no,
yeah.
they don't
Yeah.
have the same respect level, so
And
it's very difficult for them
It's
to
so
like
hard
step up
because
like that,
even
you
like
know?
with again, Lena was a complete like. Listen, she was my best friend going into everything, and she was
I
such
thought I
a
was your
huge
best
help.
friend.
We'll get there.
Okay.
But she was such a huge help. But I mean, if any other employee told me that they weren't going to be around for 4th of July weekend or Memorial Day weekend or something like that, like I'm pretty sure there were 2 major holidays that she was like, I'm not going to be here. I'm going on vacation. Where it's like, fuck, dude, she works so hard and she does so much for this place. So like she does deserve that vacation.
Yeah.
But you're telling me that you're going to leave. My number one employee is going to leave on the most important holidays.
Yeah, it's
And then
hard
I have to
sometimes,
let it
yeah.
happen. And of course I'm like, okay, go. And then when I'm falling short of staff, she's always the first person to be like, I'll catch the first flight home. I'll be there early. I'll do whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm like, but why are we in this situation in the first place? And again, it's because like, obviously I'm laxed. We're friends. Like there's still that like weird dynamic. And even working with people that are older than me, I'm like, okay, I still feel less superior to people who are older than me sometimes when I have like older servers or older staff. Cause I'm like, okay, well, who am I, like a 30-year-old to tell like a 50-year-old what the fuck to do?
Right.
I'm still challenging.
It's hard. I mean, it's, and then, this goes back into too, like people that are trying to step up, with things like I've noticed sometimes people will try to mimic my style, of like how like I handle
doesn't
people
work.
or like how I interact with people. And I'm like, and I just had this conversation with somebody else too. And I was like, yo, listen, you can't pretend to be me because it's not
There
going to
is
work.
only one me.
No, but I mean, it's just not going to work for
Yeah.
you.
No,
Like
yeah.
the way that I talk to people, I can talk to people a specific
Yes.
way and I will get a specific response. But that's from years of talking to people and telling people what to do and managing people that have developed that style. Like you can't just go in there and think that you can just throw shit around and
Yes.
expect the same response because you're not going to get that. People are not going to respond to you. It's like you need to be you.
Yeah.
And you need to learn how to be you.
Find your
trying
own
to fulfill
techniques.
that
Yeah.
role. You know what I mean? And you have to learn how to talk to people because that's just not something that's going to come naturally.
That's the biggest thing for the young kids is that like learning how to talk to
learning how to talk to people is
fellow
like, I think, the
employees
biggest-
or
of the
even
biggest
customers
hurdles.
to
Sure.
get that next level to learn how to take the next step to be a quote unquote manager or even a
right.
full-time GM or a restaurant owner. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. And I feel like younger kids also are growing up in an age where being confrontational or like having to put themselves in that situation is so different because everything is behind a screen, right?
that's
like
it. Yeah, they just-
there's so many different, like they never really had to learn how to like walk up, sit down, talk, you know what I mean? But I feel like it's always the younger generation though that really, I feel like a lot of people want to talk shit that they're lazy and they're this and that, but like,
They don't know.
when it comes down to me looking at a 23-year-old and a 50-year-old and who I'm going to bump up first, it's like 90% of the time I know that 23-year-old is ready to take the risk, persevere, keep moving than the 50-year-old who is still in the
Yeah,
same
because-
routine. Because like, why are you going to change your entire lifestyle? And
it's
it
harder
is
you get older,
an
sure.
entire lifestyle change going into being a restaurant owner. Like overnight, nothing's the same. You're never going to be a server again.
Yeah.
You know, and even if you are a server at your own restaurant, you're still not making money. You're just not paying.
Who makes money in the
You're
restaurant
using whatever
business?
tips you just made to pay your other employees. You know, like
who makes money in the restaurant business?
You don't.
Please.
I don't know. It's just it's crazy because like I see all these young kids and I'm like, I feel like so many people talk crap about the next generation, but
I just think
they're
too, like,
thirsty, man.
yeah, no, they're
the
doing
ones-
thing. I think like right now too, it's like a little hard because like the people that like just recently graduated, you know, they kind of like went through like, you know, maybe like 2 years of high school where they weren't even in high school.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
were just in, you know, like they were at home or like doing school online, you know, because of everything. So I think that kind of changes like growth dynamic too.
Of course.
And like maturity level. So I feel like that initially, like right now, like some of these people that are just like coming out are like a little more stunted in some of the maturity levels a little bit.
They don't know yet.
Because
See,
they missed like some of the
I'm so
important-
contradicting, and I
You
feel like
think?
it's a whole different topic for another day. But I feel like that's contradicting because I feel like also a lot of the times, and I know a lot of people know my opinion on it, but school systems hold people back. Like
Right.
there are people who don't excel at school, but they excel in the outside world, and being
that's
able to
true.
be like outside and working and not subjected to sitting in a classroom and. Sometimes that stunts their growth, like personally, because I was never a kid that could sit in a classroom, right?
Right.
So I feel like during that time, there were kids that, and unfortunately learned on TikTok, like how to make extra money, how to side hustle, how to do these things. And I feel like it created a different monster. But I understand there are some kids that need that education, that need that.
I just think that they need the social,
Structure.
I think it's more about like the social
I think that's
interaction.
social.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like learning like social interaction. And I think, you know,
Learning how to
school-
communicate with your other classmates
learning
and
how
what and talk to a
communicate. There is, like,
teacher.
a structure system too
Yeah.
that I think is like
Yeah, the structure
kind
I
of
can
important.
understand.
but
know.
that school system is a whole different topic.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know.
different.
That's
We're
why I
gonna
like put a
cover
pin
it.
in that for
We're gonna rabbit
sure.
hole that one, baby. But so yeah, I appreciate that. That was a good one.
Yeah.
It was fun. So
Just
yeah,
curious.
step up.
Because we have
Step up.
decisions to make. So
If you can.
work hard, learn how to talk,
Be
and
consistent.
stop jerking off.
I mean, if you
for
look,
the
if
love
you-
of God, stop
I
jerking
mean,
off.
look, you have to want to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You have to. You have to want to. You know, move to
Have
the
the
next
fire,
level.
yeah.
And or it has to just be like innately like in you
Yeah,
to want to excel. Because I don't think everybody.
Is born with it.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
You know, some people just want to achieve more or do more.
Love it.
So
Yeah.
be born with it, I guess.
Maybe
Maybe you're more
Be
thin.
born with it.
restaurant punk.
Ow.
Ow.
It was a really rough start. I couldn't get there.
I thought we were gonna go downhill, but then it came back really good.
Yeah, that was. I think Liz is going to be really proud of that, actually.
What you got? What do you want?